Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is a tremendous joy this evening, forgive me, to have the opportunity to talk with Miss Tiffany Johnson and her Chief Operations Officer Latricia Bocamp, as they are appearing from Austin, Texas, to tell the world that there are 180 jobs available tomorrow morning, and God has blessed you to hear about them. Without further ado, I want to introduce to some, present to others, Miss Tiffany Johnson and as well Miss Latricia Bocamp. Good evening. It's a tremendous honor to have you on the air with us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
I got to ask you here. First and foremost, you have blessed and faith on the walls, and this is not necessarily a question about getting the jobs, but how important is it for a person to maintain a sense of faith in
Um,
their search for employment?
it's extremely important. Um, God is our hope, and He is our help in everything that we need. If we just depend on, I mean, if we just lean on Him, He'll guide us to where He wants us to be, not necessarily where we want to be, or what we want, but it'll all work out for our good if we just lean on Him.
Exactly.
So faith
You have been in the
is
business
really
for a
what you
long
need.
period of time, and I'm quite certain that you have put your faith to the test, especially during this pandemic. So I want to ask you first and foremost, as a business owner, exactly how have you been challenged to keep the doors open, to keep the paychecks afloat, to keep the people that you work with and also that work for you, uh, or search with you for employment, to keep their spirits alift?
So at the beginning of the pandemic, it was extremely hard. What we decided to do was to have everyone work from home, and we just kind of did a little pivot where we began making masks and setting up a manufacturing. We
Wow.
started manufacturing masks out of our office and working with our staff. We were still doing sales through the phone. We set up mass giveaways. We did receive the PPP that helped sustain us through the pandemic as much as possible. But as soon as we could get back to work, we were working. People thought we were crazy, um, but I mean, we just needed to keep moving. We just couldn't stop. Reynard is one of the ones that wouldn't allow me to stop. Really, he kept pushing me to Tiffany, get those masks out there. Tiffany, get those masks out there. And but that's what kept my staff working, my staff and I working, working really hard to make it through and pass out masks to nursing homes and to churches and different places like that. But I felt like we couldn't just succumb to what was happening to us. We needed to constantly be productive,
Exactly.
and see that we were helping or doing something. I've never been one to just sit back and let something happen to me without fighting back and doing something.
See, and that's the image that people need to have when you're looking for work. As Chief Operations Officer, Latricia, what was it like for you dealing with not only the staff but others who are coming for work, looking for work, and seemingly dismayed because the doors to the homes and to the businesses seem to be closed?
Well, it was it was interesting because our doors were still open. We
Mm-hmm.
just most of our staff were working from home, but our business director and myself, we were still grinding it out. And then as soon as she said, "Hey, I can't do this no more. We're going to do something to contribute." She brought us all back in and said, "Hey, let's see what we can do to help keep the community going." And that's when she really pushed, "Hey, if I got to give masks away, let's anything we could do to try and get our workforce." and get the doors back open, she was trying to motivate us, motivate the community. She did news reports in the media, had the media out, anything to let the community know, hey, we are still here. You can still come by and see us if you want a job.
Exactly. And I'm telling you know, Tiffany, from our conversations, I am completely overwhelmed with what God has done here at TECN TV with
Mhm.
being able to give this announcement tonight that you, through the grace of God and your commitment to your community, have over 180 jobs available. It's not one, it's not 18, it's 180 jobs available. First and foremost, are these jobs where they're just, you know, picking up trash out of the park or whatever, or are these well-paying jobs that people can balance a career out of?
Yes, so we have a little bit of everything, to be quite
Okay.
honest. We're working
Yeah.
with a company called Your Host, and this company is looking for dispatchers, delivery runners. Um, they're looking for marketing people, administrative people. Um, we work with security. We're a security firm as well, so we have security positions, construction positions, hospitality positions. Some are part time, some are full time. We've got events coming back. Um,
Right.
yeah, we have
So,
private
yes.
events, private event venues, restaurants, hotels, the whole. I mean, in every industry, there's a need. And so
Yes.
we're wanting to fill those needs. Our clients are our clients are looking for us to fill those needs and depending on us to find
Come to
them with
us,
the
yes.
depending on us to provide them with the right skilled staff to fill those jobs. And it's not all higher level. um,
Yeah.
if you have to start out being a housekeeper, you can end up, I mean, depending on your attitude and what you're willing to learn and become, they're willing to train and teach you how to eventually become a GM.
Wow. Latricia, I got to ask you here. Uh, your staff was very malleable serving under Tiffany Johnson here. How malleable must people be in this marketplace today? How open are they, or should they be, to being trained to get into the marketplace, this new normal marketplace?
Well, what we're finding is most people are open to being trained because they're looking for a way to pivot and find what they need to support their families, to support their careers, their support their children, their childcare expenses and costs. So most of them are pretty malleable. They're accepting that some of them are accepting that they do have to expect a career change, expect to have to be retrained for different opportunities that are there. And we're here to bridge that, to be the bridge of opportunity for them between the jobs that we have available and the clients. So whatever
Exactly.
they are willing to do, we can train them to do it. From security to housekeeping, we can train them. Was it tech?
Yes.
Was it BMS?
Oh, the remediation tech.
Remediation techs.
Mhm. Where you
We
get a certification
right.
for the courses that you take.
Wow.
Plumbers, electricians,
Yes.
all those different types of things within the construction industry. There's just a
Yeah.
huge need.
Yeah. And it's
Uh,
not just a one off, or
yeah.
it's not just a something that you can't carry forward. Most of these positions that we have, you can definitely carry them forward and build up on them.
Exactly. Now, a lot of people have this idea that you need to make $100,000 a year to take care of your family in the city. At least in Washington D.C., someone who makes $120,000 a year with a family of four is considered poor. I want to
Mhm.
ask you, what is the lifestyle like in Austin, Texas? What is the cost of living like in Austin, Texas?
You want to answer that?
No.
No. Okay. The cost of it's wow. It's a lot less than that. Um, I mean, well, but we're catching up though. I mean, we're really catching up. But I think that $100,000 here in Austin, Texas, would be a nice home. It would be a nice home, and because our minimum wage hasn't changed,
Yeah,
and it hasn't caught up with inflation or the cost of living here, no one's paying minimum wage. So we're able to the jobs that we have really meet the needs of the people in living within our community. So
exactly. So they're not living hand to mouth necessarily.
no.
They can afford a pretty good. Because when you said that they could afford a home in Texas, I'll be honest
Mhm.
with you. In Washington D.C., with $120,000, you're barely able to afford a 2 bedroom apartment. So,
Oh,
so that's a
come on to
huge
Austin.
difference.
Come on to Austin. Come on down.
And that's the thing. The crime here in the District of Columbia, we have, as of yesterday, hit 100 homicides.
Oh.
Robberies are up 30%. What is the lifestyle like in Austin, Texas?
So we've had a lot of people from California move in
Mm-hmm.
over the last few years. Of course, there's always been a back and forth from Austin to California, California to Austin, but an influx over the past few years, and it's changed um, our makeup here in Austin, Texas. But our crime rate is extremely low. Uh, we really don't have a ghetto. There's no such
Thank
thing
you.
as a ghetto in Austin, Texas. I mean, seriously, compared to the other places where the crime rate is extremely high, um, even compared to Dallas and Houston, I mean, we really don't have a ghetto. I was born and raised here in Austin, so I've seen the changes and kind of fought against the changes. But now I welcome them because I know that we need new blood here to grow within not only the African American community, but within the community as a whole. Um, so
Now,
that we can strive, so that we can continue to grow and remain competitive in the U.S. market.
um, Latricia, over the weekend, starting tomorrow morning, you're going to start getting phone calls from people throughout Texas and around the area regarding these 180 jobs. The first question that they're going to ask is, really? Y'all got 180 jobs? The second question is, what do I do to get one of those 180 jobs? Do I have to stand outside your building to fill out forms? What is the process I have to follow?
Not at all. They're welcome to come in. Our doors are open. They're welcome to walk in, first of all. If they're wanting to do it online, they can go to at 4espros.com and just click to apply, and they'll see a list of jobs that are available. They can also, and then they could just call our and speak to someone, speak to any of our recruiters. They can call and speak to a recruiter, the number 512-302-4377, and they could just ask to speak to a recruiter. Let the recruiter know, hey, I'm available for work. Um, can you put me to work? What do you have? The recruiters will be happy to speak to them immediately. I mean, we
Wow.
have immediate positions available. Our slogan is apply today, work tomorrow. For real,
Wow.
really.
That's what I love to hear. That's what I love to hear. Tiffany, you are owner of a minority business as well. You have worked with small business owners in terms of underutilized business, and there are individuals here. For instance, there is a business owner from
You okay?
Washington D.C. Who has asked, uh, "What kind of help and support can I get from you?" In my area, Washington D.C., there are a there is a slowdown in terms of conferences and events and things of
Mhm.
that nature. There are restrictions, and my revenue in terms of a floral company is limited. What exactly can I do in order to improve my revenue stream?
Um, what I would tell any business is to keep pushing, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Keep selling, keep doing everything that you need to do to bring in income. If you have to go get a second job to make ends meet while you're going through, while you're going through,
See, that's a good
um,
team. You got a good team there. They
she pulled my shirt down, all that good stuff, making sure she's taking care of me.
That's right. You got a
Um,
great team.
yes, I thank God for her every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I would just say continue to push forward and don't stop, don't quit. A no today is not a no forever.
Yes.
You have to continue to push forward regardless of, you got to move beyond your quitting point. You got to continue to pound the pavement, let them know that you're here, increase your marketing efforts, and someone will bite. You just got to keep going. If God gave you the vision and the dream, then you have to trust and believe and know that He's going to provide you with what you need. Your clients, your clients, God is your source, but your clients are where what if you're praying and you're asking Him on a consistent basis, or however it is you feel you need to open the doors for you, to bring you what you need. He's definitely going to provide that for you.
Excellent.
Definitely.
Excellent. And can that individual get in contact with you for advice and counsel in terms of moving forward in their business?
Sure. Sure. I
Excellent.
would love that. I would love to speak to other business owners that have questions in regards to building their business, building their brand, marketing, sales. We've been doing this thing for over 10 years, and it hasn't been easy. A lot of people have in their mind that just because you have a business that, you know, everything becomes easy. Your clients become your clock ins
Yeah.
and clock outs.
Mm-hmm.
They become your boss, and making sure that you're supporting them and that they can depend on you. And you got to, once again, it's about pushing beyond those quitting points. 9 times out of 10, I don't stop until it's done.
Exactly. Someone's watching tonight from their sofa and they can't believe that there's an opportunity here of getting work. And sometimes it's just not motivated enough to hear the good news. You know what I'm saying? That there's a
Hmm.
job right there. Um, how much, and people call it hand holding, I don't like to call it that. How much
Okay.
counseling and support do you give an individual in the process of finding employment?
Well, one thing that we like to do is really evaluate the person and get to know them, to
Yes.
know what it is that they need. People that we all have issues, right? We've all
Yes.
dealt with something in our past that we're trying to overcome. So being able to find out, what type of triggers they have, um, and how we can assist them in becoming, uh, better people,
Yes.
better employees, better business owners, better husbands and wives. I mean, it's well rounded. It's not just in one area. So we really try to come in and dissect to find out what they really need from us, and then help them and give them resources to help develop who they are as a person, so that they can take it beyond just working with the ESP.
Excellent. And so a person gets a job, it doesn't seem to work out with their job. Do you help them make the transition to find another job that they might be better uh,
Suited
after
for.
further assessment, be better appropriate for them?
We can do that. It just depends on how they left the previous assignment. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, it's. I mean, you. Yeah. um,
Yeah,
it's
let's just be
really.
real.
I mean, these are jobs. These are real jobs that bring money to companies, and you have to know how to operate within a company. You have to know how to maintain your composure when you're working with someone you don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not acceptable to walk off a job just because Joe Blow said, or did something or said something that you didn't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
But those are skills that can be taught if you're open to, if you remain open. We can definitely assist you with those types of things as well. So we do try to work with as many people as we can um, to help build them up so that they can become better citizens.
Exactly. So, in this regard, Tiffany, and you work with thousands of people over the past decade in terms of getting into the
Mhm.
workforce again, and because people will get offended because I make these statements about the character that you must have in terms of keeping employment. Because it's not just about getting the job, it's about
It's not.
keeping the job as well.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
one of the things that people have always stated, Ken, I think you're being stereotypical when you say that people should show up on time for work. And on time does not mean that you showed up at 9:15 for your 9 o'clock job.
That's right.
It means that you showed up at 8:45 for your nine
That's right.
o'clock. Can you speak better on this matter than I can to reach people? Because I don't always seem to hit the mark.
No, I definitely agree. If you're supposed to arrive at a shift or your workplace at 9 o'clock, if you show up at 9, then you're late.
Yeah.
You can't be prepared to start working and arrive at the same time.
Mm,
So yes, it makes sense to be there at 8:45. It really, to be quite honest with you, it depends on what you want out of your life.
mm.
What are you trying to get out of the position that you're in? Are you looking for promotion? Are you looking just to maintain what you have? I mean, if you don't appreciate what the God or the opportunity that God has have provided you with, then you're not going to care. You're not going to show up. You're going to show up late. You're going to do something to sabotage the opportunity. And
Don't
that's one way to sabotage the opportunity.
don't the employer owe you something? Don't they owe you because you showed up to work for them? Don't they owe you something?
No, not at all. The only thing that they owe you is an opportunity to work. They agree to allow you to come in to exchange dollars for service or dollars, whatever your position or your role is. That's what they've agreed to. And if you don't do that well, and if you show up late and you act like you don't care, or because the environment that you in matters, um, with the success, it matters for the company.
Yeah.
Um, no one's going to put up with. I mean, it's just like if you look at it, and I don't like put it in. I don't like thinking about it like thinking about children, but if you think about it in a classroom environment, because that's how work is a huge classroom environment.
Yeah.
And if the teacher won't tolerate you disrupting the class or acting inappropriately or doing what you want to do there, an employer is really not. They don't have to. They don't have to tolerate it at all. And it doesn't matter what economy we're in. No one's going to
Exactly.
tolerate that.
Final
I mean,
question
they
for
can
you.
beg you to come to work, but if you cause more problems on the job, you will be released.
Yeah, and just because you're pretty don't mean they're gonna keep you. I've always said that too.
No. Oh no. Oh no. Mm-mm.
but but
Mm-mm.
here's the other thing I want to ask you. Most people don't understand this adage, but it's true. It is better to look for a job when you have one than when you don't. So when someone is employed, what is the best way for them to look for one of these 180 jobs?
Their best way is to go ahead and go online
Mm-hmm.
to our website. Visit our website, www.4espros. And and I say it fast, I do apologize, but it's 4espros.com. And just go look at the jobs, and you're able to apply online. We're even trying to come up with a transitional plan for those that are coming from out of town. Um,
Yes.
it just depends on the different positions that people are applying for. But yes, that's definitely where they would start,
Excellent. Customer
and they can
service.
upload their resumes. They can send resumes to our emails so that we can review it, and communicate with them to see, if some of the jobs that we have actually fit what they're looking for. We actually call ourselves matchmakers. in the employment sector. Actually,
I said that would be my last question, but here's really my last question. How
bring
important
it, bring it.
how important is customer service? I, it,
Oh,
I mean, I've been places where people have thrown ketchup in there when it should have been grape jelly. You know, how important is customer service in terms of getting and keeping a job?
you know what? I really consider customer service treating people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
And, that's pretty much what it boils down to is really treating people the way that you want to be treated. If you want respect, then you give it.
Mm.
If you want someone to be nice to you, then you give it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you don't, then you're gonna always if you don't give it, then you're not gonna get it.
There you
So,
go.
and you're always gonna have some troubles, right? So,
Exactly.
customer service is the number one key, and it's not something that you should take lightly. A lot of times we walk around emotional, especially in this day and time, um, with what's happening in the world. We really take customer service lightly, even driving down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Mm-hmm.
you guys know a lot more about that than,
Yeah.
than we do here in Texas.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
The middle
Um,
finger patrol.
yes. Be nice, be kind, loving. Yes. But once again, customer service, to sum that up, customer service is really about treating people the way you want to be treated, the way you want them to treat your mother. They may not, because God promises that He blesses for generations and He curses for generations, really.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with that being said, whatever's not happened to whatever you do to someone's going to come back to you, and if it doesn't come back to you, it's going to come back to somebody in your family.
There you go. Be
you
good.
know and so you want people to treat you nice, you want people to treat your family nice, whether you have a need or don't have a need. So that's what customer service is about.
Tiffany, we love you and we appreciate what you and your staffing company are doing for not only Austin, not only for Texas, but for the United States of America, opening the opportunity for employment for 180 people. Listen, we're going to keep the jobs page up along
Okay.
with this particular interview for the next couple of weeks. And we're going to encourage people to go there and apply for the jobs, get the jobs. And we're going to ask you to come back and we want to get an update on how things
I would
go
love
towards
to.
that. Thank you so much, Tiffany. We love you. Latricia, we love you too. Thank you so much
Come
for
back.
all that you all do. See, that's a real team player right there.
Come back.
We love you dearly. Thank you so much for all you all do to keep the jobs for America alive and to keep the hopes and dreams of Americans alive. And we love the fact that you all keep God first because that
Yes.
blesses everybody else. God bless you. Thank you so much. We will see you in a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank you.
having us.
Wow.
Bye bye.
180 jobs, people. 180 jobs. We are not talking about, misfit jobs here. We are talking about real hardcore work with great pay. Tiffany Johnson, ESP LLC, will be back in a couple of weeks. We'll get an update on how things go. But without a shadow of a doubt, I am overjoyed and overwhelmed that God is blessing us in this capacity. And I pray that you take advantage of this opportunity. We'll be back with more of the best in Urban Conservative Talk right after these messages. And I'm going to slow it down so you all can write the stuff down. You know, you can pause, right? You can pause this when I get to the right screen. You can pause it and write down the information, but it's also going to be at the jobs page at TECN TV. We'll be right back.